Good morning, everybody. What's going on? That one was pretty good. Give a solid 7 on that one. Ooh, and it's perfectly cold. It's like right before that freezing point. It is perfect. What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for coming out. We've got Charlotte here, zonked out of her mind. Let's see if she stays sleeping and just hangs out with us. You don't have to go anywhere, Char. Just stay there. Boxes and Bowl here on April 9th. What is it, Wednesday? Yep, Wednesday. Wednesday, April 9th. We got a full slate to go over. Someone, I won't say who. Someone woke me up at 4:45. So I had to take a little re-snooze back on the couch. So I might sound even sleepier than normal. Because I kind of just woke up. Like, kind of just. Wow, she's been back asleep pretty much since we got up. She's like, oh, I just had to go to the bathroom. I'm good now. And then immediately back asleep. This freaking dog, am I right? Jen, how could you? You know, listen, dog's gonna go to the bathroom when they gotta go to the bathroom, right? I can't blame her for that. But usually she makes it longer. You know, the later she goes to bathroom, to the bathroom to end the night, the longer she goes while sleeping. And when Jen went to bed, I kept Char. So that way when I was done writing and everything, I took her out to the bathroom and went to bed. So I did not expect a 4:45 wake up. I gotta be honest. I'm very surprised. But I'm good. Oh yeah, but you don't sit guys like that. I know it was not a great start with them going against each other. We'll get into that game. But you just don't sit guys like that in any league format for me. Like you can't. There isn't a single format out there. GT, how's it going? What up, Churro boy? All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start with my Tigers, baby. We are on fire. Can't lose at home. We're 7-4 after the 5-0 victory over the Yankees. They dropped to 6-5. Nice little homer barrage off of Cookie Carrasco. 3 straight. Scooble, brilliant. 6 scoreless, 4 hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts. 11 swinging strikes on his 87 pitches. And then the bullpen saver, baby. Brant Herter with the 3-inning super save. 2 hits, a walk, 3 Ks. You're going with boxes and lower caffeinated beverages due to high blood pressure today? Good, bro. I'm glad you're looking out. Better than Bo giving up more runs? No, I feel it. Yeah, there have been a lot of super saves earlier this year. I love them. Why did the Yankees stop using their magic bats? Are they stupid? It's almost as if... And I know you're being funny, Quinn. Carrasco, I love him. Rooting hard for him. But I think we might have reached the finish line here. 4 1/3, 4 runs, 6 hits, a walk, 3 Ks. And the 3 homers I mentioned did come in a row in the 4th inning. I just don't think he's really got the juice anymore. I know the Yankees are turning to him because they have to, but I think they need to look elsewhere. Check out this. They had 6 hits, the top of the order. 3 for Goldie, 1 for Rice, 2 for Judge. That's it. That's it. I am wearing the Pirates hat for Skeens, even though he didn't have a great outing. I still am always glad when Skeens pitches. I'm still always going to watch him. But your boys played well. The homers went, it went Carpenter. No, did it go? No, it went Torque, Keith, McKinstry in that order, right? Wait, it wasn't 3 in a row then, because Keith was in the mix there. Sorry. It was 3 out of 4. Torque, McKinstry, Dingler. Pardon me. Keith squeezed in the middle there. Not 3 in a row. I'm a liar. And then Carp went lefty late, which is just great. Seeing him pop off in April against a lefty, exciting. Because I think, I understand why he doesn't start against every lefty. And I love him as a weapon coming off the bench in those games. But I think that's his second lefty homer of the year. So maybe he should start earning more of those outings. More of those starts against lefties. Is it 2 against lefties, or am I drunk? Nope, it is 2. So again, I still don't think he should start against every lefty. Like, he's clearly not, amazing against lefties. But I also don't think he has to miss every start. Maybe against some of the easier ones. It's just that we do have really nice lefty killers, though, too. So it's not like they're putting in losers off the bench. They're putting in guys who can really swing it against lefties. So we'll see. But I like seeing him go yard against a lefty reliever there. So good game for the Tigers. They go for the sweep today. I think at noon again, because they moved all those games up due to the weather. Yeah, so noon Central. Freed versus Flaherty. Tigers underdogs, which I get it, because sweeping the Yankees is tough, but it's not a bad spot if you're so inclined to things like that. Ooh, and it's the Freed-Flaherty matchup. They went to the same high school. Did you know that? Surely they'll mention Lucas Giolito today, too. That's like the number one factoid about those guys. It's a cool one, but it's like everybody knows it at this point because they've been around so long and they mention it every single time. A's win 10-4 against the Padres. They go to 5-7. The Padres drop to 9-3. Okay, Jeffrey Springs. I thought you might be a pick-on spot. Turned out to be Cease, who was the one to pick on. Cease gives up 9 runs in 4 innings on 9 hits, 3 walks, 4 Ks. He's just hittable. That's all there is to it. And then Springs, he got knocked around early, and it looked like, okay, this is going to be a crazy back and forth game because he gives up 3. The A's come back with 6 of their own. He gives up his 4th in the second, and you're like, this is just going to be a football score. No. He calmed down where Cease didn't. And ends up giving up the 4 runs, 3 of them earned on 7 hits, 2 walks, 4 Ks in 6 innings. And yeah, the Padres got murked. Tatis left early. Hayward came in. Cronzone left early. And then Oscar Gonzalez came in. Who's the other one? Yeah, this park you're going to want to, avoid the A's pitchers. And it's tough too because, oh yeah, Merrill went to the IL. I forgot. You got to get out of your mindset. I mean, we didn't used to see ATH, the abbreviation, but rather when it was Oak. And if it was at Oak, that was a good thing. You wanted your pitchers to go at Oak. Even when the A's are good, you still didn't mind your pitchers pitching in the Coliseum. Now, you don't want them anywhere near. Now listen, I would not have sat Cease, and I don't really think you should have. Process versus results. The results were bad, but the process of sitting Dylan Cease at the Athletics, I don't think it is the right one right now. Like, he pitched poorly, okay. But I still think he's at the caliber of pitcher that you're starting. Like, I'm still going to start a lot of guys there. Let's see what they got coming up. So they got the Mets coming in this weekend. Canning, Peterson, Senga. Senga, I'm definitely starting. I've really liked Peterson and Canning this year. I'm inclined to start both of them. Now, we might get to a point where guys like this, Canning and Peterson, are no-goes. Yeah, Churro, it's not quite that extreme. I don't think it's Colorado yet, but it's a good place to hit. It might be somewhere in that Cincy, Colorado zone. It's a minor league park. And here's the thing, too. They're pretty solid. They can take advantage of it. They got home run hitters. Butler, Rooker, Soderstrom, Bangaliers, Blade. Those are their power guys. Andujar, Wilson are kind of their base hits guys. Urshela and Muncy, admittedly, are kind of like their defensive guys. So, you're not as concerned about their bats, but that still runs 7 deep of capable hitters. But I think I'm still starting those guys. Canning, I can't quit this guy. And 2 good starts to open the year. Good spring. In a good organization. I'm going to give him a shot. And then Peterson's even kind of a better version of Canning. He's been even better to start the year. Had a pretty good spring. And I kind of like him. So probably still going to start both those dudes. But I'm keeping very close tabs. Now, Oakland is on the road all next week, so we won't get any more data then. But we could end up in a place where we're like aces only in Oakland. We're not there yet, though. I'm still going to take some chances on some guys, even though Cease got smoked. Machado did hit his first of the year. Luis Ariz had 3 hits, as did Martin Maldonado, and a couple hits for bogey. On the Athletics side, Jacob Wilson and Gio Urshela each had 3 hits apiece. Blade and Andujar, a couple hits apiece. 3 runs for Blade, 2 for Andujar, 2 for Wilson, and 3 ribbies for Blade and Urshela. So it was really the middle and bottom of the order. Kind of the back half there. Dude, Blade's homer, his first of the year, was a pitch he got around on. I was super impressed. Like, he got his hands way in and ripped that one. He had a double earlier in the game. He had a huge game. He needed it. He's off to a slower start, but, we're not tripping. So, yeah, the A's playing all right. I mean, they're 2 games under. That's not too bad. We'll see how they continue. Cleveland wins 1-0 against the White Sox. They go to 4-6. The White Sox drop to 2-8. Ben Lively and Shane Smith was a really fun pitching battle. Kind of an underrated Definitely non-studs, but both pitched remarkably well. Ben Lively goes 5 scoreless on 5 base runners, 2 hits, 3 walks with 4 Ks. And then Shane Smith, the Rule 5 pick from Milwaukee, really caught my eye in spring. Ended up scooping him in a bunch of spots, and so far so good. 6 scoreless, 2 hits, a walk, 6 Ks. 9 swinging strikes on 83 pitches for him, 6 in 80 pitches for Lively. Clase ends up getting the win. Clevenger gets the loss. Suck it, Clev. Robert was running wild. He had 2 steals and a caught. There were only 5 hits, and yet we do still have a multi-hit guy, and it was the birthday boy, Carlos Slamtana. He went 2 for 4, getting 2 of Cleveland's 3 hits. And it was a 1-0 game, so there's not much else there. We don't need to linger on this one. This can be a quickie because there just wasn't a ton going on. It was a true pitcher battle. It's unbelievable, Peach. It's that time of year. Yeah, it was a walk-off walk for Clevenger. And you know what? Fuck him. Suck it. Garbage bag. That dude sucks. Mets win 10-5 over the Marlins. They go to 8-3. The Marlins drop to 5-6. That's more like it for Clay Holmes, for the people that bought in on the hype train. Still gave up 4 runs to the Marlins, though, in 5 1/3 on 8 base runners, but he did have 10 strikeouts. You know, I mentioned we're gonna be giving him a real shot here. I didn't end up getting him once the hype machine kind of surged. But this is what I said coming into the starts. I don't think these 2 starts should radically change your opinion. The opinion you had of him in draft season. He hasn't missed nearly as many bats as he did in spring, but a 68% ground ball rate can cover some gaps. And of course, he got the strikeouts going this game. Got the win. So even though the ERA wasn't great and the whip really wasn't either, you got 10 Ks in a win. You can't be too upset. But you got to give him, I think personally, if you bought in on the hype train, you got to give him 6-7 starts. You want to see where this really goes. I think even in a shallower league, you owe it to yourself to ride this out a little bit. Let him find his footing. He's got a 2-step next week at Minnesota, home to St. Louis. We're using that all day for Clay Holmes. And so that'll be, 5 starts? Yeah, that'll be 5. Now, if there's one thing to be like a little bit bummed about with the fact that the whip is so high, the ERA is mediocre and the whip is high. The thing to be bummed about that is that he's had 2 starts against Miami. So you're like, come on, man, the schedule has really benefited you and you're still toting a 170 whip. That's a bit annoying. But you're on the board with a win, and you still got 20 strikeouts in 14 2/3. So there's still positives, but it hasn't been the slam dunk, holy crap, this guy rules, that we thought it might be in spring when he was going crazy hot. But I certainly wouldn't jump off the train yet. Connor Gillespie had 4 innings of 2-run ball on 3 hits, a walk, 2 Ks. Not bad. But turned it over to the pen and nobody had it. Fauché got smoked. Only one of the 4 runs was earned. Xavier Curry got smoked. Enriquez got smoked. And Luarbert Arias didn't quite get smoked. He gave up a run, but he pitched 2 innings. Yeah, Fauché, I couldn't get there with him. He was the accepted guy to go for in the Marlins bullpen in fantasy, and And maybe he'll turn around. It's too, it's early. I'm not declaring victory on 4 innings. But there's nothing to hang your hat on. The skills are awful. The surface results are awful. The underlying skills are awful. There's nothing to go for here with Fauché. So we shall see. Derek Hill goes yard. I like that Derek Hill's doing some things. Former Tigers prospect. I remember being really psyched about him. This was more one of those things where it was like, he was the top prospect of a thin system, whereas he really wouldn't be the top prospect in a lot of other systems. And I knew that at the time, even when he was the Tigers' top prospect. But, you're still rooting for your top guy. It's like, hey, that's who we've got. Let's pin our hopes on Derek Hill. And it never quite came together. He's kind of the perfect 4th outfielder for a winning team. But he can be a starter on what they call a second division team, which is what the Marlins are right now. He had a nice catch. Incredible. Incredible. And that's why he's an amazing 4th outfielder for a winning team, because he can play brilliant defense, and he's starting to find a little bat here. Derek Holland and Christian Stewart. Oh my God, yes, I remember Christian Stewart. Yep. So I always root for Hill. I like him a lot in OOTP as well. The base game, he's good, and this year his live series card is pretty darn good. It has crazy. What the hell? It has crazy defense and a good bit of BABIP. So I like using him in PT as well. What the hell is this? All right. Why can't I log into a tournament? All right, my OTP is being whacked. What up, Kev? How you doing? But when you do so many saves, everyone pops off and you remember them. Kyron Paris too. Yes, I've had some Kyron Paris pop-offs. I remember one that it wasn't even my save, or he wasn't even on my team. It was my save, but he wasn't even on our team. But Kyron Paris became like quite literally one of the 5 best players in baseball. It was bananas. Sanoa had a couple hits. In fact, he was the only multi-hit guy for the Marlins. And then Liam Hicks had 3 ribbies. Hill had the other 2 for their 5 runs. Griffin Conine scored twice. A couple walks. PJ saying he's been looking pretty good in there. Q-Stack, I'm all right with that trade. I have some issues with Brandon Pfaadt, but Brendan Donovan as a payment for him is fine. If you like him, you're going for him, that's totally fine. My problems with him is he can't get lefties out consistently, which makes him scary against lefty-heavy teams. But that doesn't mean that trade isn't fair. Like that's a good valuation. I got no problem with that. Oh, I had to update my OTP. It wasn't letting me walk in. In 10-team, 30-man rosters and 10 pitching slots and no IL, are you dumping Eflin? Ooh. Oh, man. 30-man rosters, you're starting 10. How many reserves does that have? Does that give you then? Because that's close. I'm nervous about Eflin. Shoulder fatigue / lat injury. Like, I don't even know. Everyone getting hurt these days. Did he officially go on the IL? Oh yeah, IL bound with lat strain. Okay. Lats kind of suck. 10 reserves total. God, I got him in both my main events too. And you have 3 guys on the IL now. Based on what you're saying, it sounds like they're better than Eflin. So yeah, I can see a cut in a 10-teamer. I can see a cut in a 10-teamer. I'm okay with it. I like Eflin. Big fan coming in. I'm going to try to hold in my main events, but it won't be easy. So wait, what was Gary Cohen ripping him for? Let me see here. Saw something where the Marlins intentionally walked Soto to load the bases with a guy on second and third and 1 out, presumably to set up the double play. Then they played the infield in. Oh. You know what? OOTP does that sometimes to me, and it drives me nuts. Like that, the auto manager. I'm like, what are you playing the infield in for? They're not set up for the double play as well now. Infield in, on average, raises batting averages 100 points. Now you have a higher chance of it getting past you for the aforementioned double play. Yeah, I hate that. Is it to set up the play at home? But then why walk the guy? No, I hate that. I don't like playing the infield in general. I mean, there are certain situations, it's not a never do it situation, but I think it's done too often. Let me say that. For the advantage that it gives, yeah, there's a force, but you're going for the double play. Was there 1 out? I still don't like it. I don't think there's anything you're going to be able to tell me that's going to make me feel good about it. I don't think it's the best move. Was it in this game or was it in the other Marlins game? Because they played a series earlier and they played 2 in this one so far. It was this game? Okay. Yeah, if there's 1 out, you're going for the double play. Well, there's no point. Well, yeah, Alonso hit a base-clearing double, but that's beside the point. You have to focus on the process before that happens, and to me, it's a bad process. I'm not doing that. Speaking of Alonso, he was one of multiple 2-hit guys. Soto, Alonso, Marte, and Sanger. Was this guy named Hayden Sanger? Hayden, look at me. Look at me with my memory. They all got 2 hits. Lindor, Soto, Acuna, and Sanger all scored 2 runs. 2 ribbies for Lindor, Nimmo, Marte, and 4 for Alonso. I can see the merits of wanting to make a force at home. No. Why? Play at double play depth and get out of the inning that way. You're making it harder to turn the double play. So what, you're gonna throw it home to get the force out and then run it back with Nimmo? What's the point? I don't know. Nah, for me, if I'm walking, and I like walking Soto there. Exactly, you got Alonso up, so the double play is not going to be particularly difficult to pull off unless you play the infield in and make it harder on them. Yeah, I'm actually fine walking Soto in general, right? Like, Alonso's a dude. I'm not going to sit here and dog him out. I love Pete Alonso. I think he's an absolute monster. But between the two, you pick Alonso 100 out of 100 times over Soto, right? Like that's just simple. So I definitely don't mind the walk. On stream, I said the Soto walk to get to red hot Alonso didn't make much sense anyway. I don't think you can worry about the fact, like, yes, so Alonso's been on fire as well. Like, they're both playing well. You go for Alonso over Soto all the time. Soto is just the better player. He's the lefty. You're getting righty. Yeah, like there's a lot of reasons for the walk. I gotta disagree with you there, Peach. I like the walk. I just think at that point you play straight up double play depth and go from that standpoint. Who was the pitcher? When did this happen? Was this in the 5th or the 6th? They scored multiple runs in both those innings. Let's find it. Let's find the situation, y'all. We got a little bit of time today. It was the 6th, right here. So it's Ronnie Enriquez. That's a righty. So it's a right-hander, if I'm remembering OTP correctly. Yep, because Ronnie Enriquez became a G for me one year. So you're getting the righty. So yeah, the walk makes plenty of sense. I got no beef with the walk. And yeah, Alonso made it moot, but you can still, like, we don't have to hand wave it. We can still judge the process before we got to the double. And to me, I'm not doing it. Now, who the hell am I? Some dweeb sitting in my office talking baseball. You know, I'm not a major league manager. But I also don't think managers are above reproach. I think it's all right to question. Yeah, I think you got to walk Soto. That's the easiest part of the equation for me. Is walk Soto, get to righty. Yes, again, you're picking your poison here. There's double poison. It's Soto and Alonso. That's the whole point of getting Soto for the Mets, right? Is, you know, you're deep in your lineup. Okay, you don't want to face Soto? Great, you can face Pete Alonso. So the Mets are happy either way, as they should be. But the Marlins are right to go for Alonso over Soto. That is at least your better chance. It's not a good chance, but it's your better chance, even if ever so slightly. Yeah, and I definitely don't mind being on the side of Gary and Keith. So yeah, that's where I come out on it. I'm not going to play the infield in after I walk Alonso. And Pete cooked it, like you said, he does render it moot after that, but that doesn't mean that we can't do the pre-check. What does it look like before he says, I'll mess up all your plans? Oh, did I mention the stolen bases there? Sorry. Starling Marte got his first steal of the year, Acuna got his second, and Sanoa got caught. Exactly. In the era of 3 true outcomes, you're going Pete over Soto every time. And you live with the consequences, and you know that Pete can still burn you. He could have gone grand slam there. Like, there's a million things that there's plenty of bad outcomes there too, but there is still a higher likelihood that he grounds it to short, flip to 2, back to 1, easy double play, and you're out of there. That card comes up, or you know, that dice roll comes up often enough that's why I like the play, but not with the infield in, because then it could skitter past them. And then that would have looked terrible. McCullough's actually lucky that Alonso cooked it, because if it would have been a single that just got past the drawn-in infield, then it would have looked horrible. But he avoided that fate. Let's go out to Pittsburgh. Cards win 5-3 at Pittsburgh. They go to 5-6. Pirates drop to 4-8. Hey, Peach, thank you so much for the 22. I appreciate it, brother. I know you watch a lot of Twitch. Actually, I don't know how much other Twitch you watch, but And I appreciate the sub, so I'm not saying don't sub to me. But if you are watching a lot of people and subbing to everyone becomes hard, get the Twitch Turbo. I got it because I just end up watching so many folks. It's like I want to spread the love as much as I can, but I can't subscribe to everybody I watch. So I still support a handful of my core faves, but then I got Turbo so I don't get ads anywhere. Yeah, Detroit, we're locked in on that. So it was Skeens Day, but the Cardinals said, we don't celebrate that crap. We don't celebrate that in this household, baby. Sonny Gray was like, how about nah? How about this? It's Sonny Gray Day. How about that? Yeah, Turbo rules. And again, I don't mind somebody saying, hey, I can't sub to you, Paul. I've watched 5 other people and I'm just going to get Turbo instead of subbing everybody. Totally respect that. But thank you so much for the resub. Just the same, Peach. Definitely appreciate it. So Sonny Gray's still kicking. I know he's had kind of a weird year. Wasn't he throwing like 88 in spring? He apparently was going through it. Wasn't feeling well, I guess. It never really became a huge story. I guess because it was one of those things where it's like, oh, it's a veteran. They know the deal. They're not worried about it. But yeah, like he had like a really bad spring. And then the lights came on for the season. And we're barely noticing it. His strikeout to walk is even higher than last year at 27%. He does have a 4.50 ERA because he's allowed some homers. 2.3 per 9 is a ton. 26% ground ball rate. Like the ball is flying out for him right now. But I think that was from one really bad start. Although his one run yesterday was a homer. But yeah, the Angels of all teams ripped him. But he's been great. Mark, good morning. Good to see you. Is Sunny Gray Day sunny outside or gray? Well, yesterday it was sunny. See, it can go either way, though. It is more often sunny than not. He's awesome. Yeah, he baited him during spring training so you could draft him later. What a guy. That was really nice of him. And sometimes, sometimes it's indicative. Especially with an older guy. He's had some injury issues. He's going to be 30. He's 35 this year. But, I don't know. There just wasn't enough talk about it for me to get concerned. I didn't hear the team talking about it. He wasn't getting shut down or, getting pulled early from his spring start. So I was just like, okay. He's just having a crummy spring. Veterans get more leeway, right? So as long as they're not hurt, you don't really see too much. So Gray kind of meandered his way through spring and turned it on. Oh, thanks, Quinn. I appreciate that. It's always sunny in Philadelphia. Damn right. The 7-3 Angels. That's right. Wales. And yeah, the first 10 is not the most important or anything, but they're playing all right. They're playing all right, baby. Shard just got up because Henry rang his bell. You gonna go? Mom called you. Hang on, let me help her with the door here. Quiet. I'm coming. Maybe she'll come back after she goes out. But she was here. She was sleeping. Oh yeah, I will too. I will too. I'm not flipping the Angels into a stud team just yet, but we'll get to them shortly. Anyway, rough one for Skeens. He is mortal after all. He does bleed. But this is what aces do. And obviously I like seeing aces be aces. But I do get a little weird thrill from watching aces sputter but still show their aceness. And what I mean by that is he gave up 5, but it was in 6 innings with 7 Ks and a walk. It's one of those where it's like he still pitched pretty well. Like, it's a bad ERA. I'm not going to sit here and spin that. That's guaranteed. It was 5 runs in 6 innings. But the Aces, even when they have a tough start, they don't kill you, either in fantasy or for the real team. They don't go 2-3 innings. Now, sure, any starter's going to have that eventually. But a lot of times what makes the Aces so ace-like is that even their bad days still end up going 5-6 innings. So you're saying obvious drop. Yeah, get this Skenenis. Get this Skenenis off your team, y'all. I don't know anything about this dude. Skenenis. He's only 1-1. Gave up 5 earned. This guy sucks, bro. Another outing like that was Rodon's yesterday. Or I guess 2 days ago now. Like, he gave up a bunch of runs, but he didn't pitch that poorly. It just happened to be these little flourishes where the Tigers put up some runs against him and saddled him with a bad outing. And I don't say that to take anything from St. Louis. They did what they had to do. They had their ace on the hill, who went 5 strong for them, and they took advantage of Skeens when they got him on the ropes. 3 in the 3rd, 2 more in the 6th. And that's all you really need. Jojo Romero trying to gag all over the place, but Phil Maiton shut it down. Not yet. Not yet, Rock. Oh my God, I know, Kev. They were so tough on him. Yeah, the Wheeler-Sale matchup did not live up to the hype, unfortunately. We'll get to that shortly. Couple hits for Brian Reynolds, along with a couple runs, and his 2nd homer of the year in the losing effort. He was that solo shot off of Gray. And then for the Cards, they had Victor Scott, Brendan Donovan with 2 hits apiece. Victor Scott now leading off, playing beautifully. 297, 372, 486. He also had a couple ribbies. Hit a triple off of Skeens. Oh, Peach, we did already talk about that, because don't forget the A's are 2nd on my list, because on my ESPN account they're listed as like teams you follow, or whatever the 2nd category is behind your favorite teams. But yeah, we were talking about, like, I don't regret starting Cease, and I'm still going to always start somebody like Cease against them. But we got to keep an eye on it. We might not be starting a lot of guys there. It might be time to dial it down. Now, I did say that for this weekend, I'm still going to go with Peterson and Canning. And neither of them are like, they're not studs. So there is some risk here, but I'm going to run these 2. And if we see just another barrage, because Senga's kind of an automatic. I think when Senga's healthy, you run him. My undying love for Griffin Canning could be rearing its ugly head here. And David Peterson is kind of a lefty Canning. You know, one of those guys that's kind of in the middle there, has his proponents, has some upside, and we'll see. Bashar's back, but she got on the ottoman instead of in her bed. Can you get back in your bed so that people can see you? I'm gonna put her in her bed. Oh yeah, PJ, he's gonna be crazy too when he gets up. Come here, cutie. Lay down. Boy, you do not tell me what to do. I am not gonna lay down. I'm out of here. Well, there she is. We'll see if she stays. Yeah, Peterson has looked good, and Canning's looked good as a Met so far. So we'll see. I am running with both of them this weekend in Sacramento, but I do acknowledge that it's scary. All right, let's move on to our next game here. And she left. I tried. Maybe she'll come back down on her own accord in a little bit there, Rock, but at least you got to see her a little bit. Let's go out to the nation's capital. The Nats win 8-2 against the Dodgers. They go to 5-6. Dodgers drop to 9-4. Brad Lord, amazing name. Amazing name. He goes 3 scoreless. Now, I didn't see a ton here. You know, I didn't see a ton that says, like, we're going to be buying Brad Lord. First off, the fact is he only went 3 innings. I don't know why C.J. Abrams didn't play. Abrams is nursing a thigh issue right now. But yeah, I didn't see, like, craziness from Brad Lord. Let's see. Let's take a closer look at him. Where is Brad Lord? Bradley Lord. No, it's just Brad Lord. Brad Lord was throwing 95. He kind of rode 2 fastballs for 83% of his pitches. His off speed and breaking pitch were just kind of show me pitches. Location wasn't great except for the slider, but he threw a 9%. Yeah, I mean, nothing to jump at here. And the reason I bring it up specifically is because he is set up for a 2-step next week, but it includes a trip to Colorado. So, I mean, we were never going to do that. The front end is at Pittsburgh, but that's still just too scary. Because, like, how many innings are you going to get? Like, even if he does well against Pittsburgh, he's probably only going to go, like, 4 innings. And then you're hoping and praying in Colorado. Yeah, no thanks, Brad Lord. Meanwhile, the Dodgers started Justin Robleski, which, hey, I'm always down to take a shot on a Dodgers pitcher, including Landon Knack today. So we'll see. Robleski was not good, though. He got absolutely smoked. As a lefty, he got lefty-leftied by James Wood twice. Yeah, they were planning for 50 pitches for Lord. That's not even really an SP. Exactly. So there you go. I don't see anything there to jump on. I'm not necessarily off of Robleski, though, just because of the dud. He gets Colorado in Dodger Stadium next week. And for your deeper leagues, I still might take a shot. Again, give me any chance I can get to get into the Dodgers rotation. So I'm probably still going to look at him this weekend in Fab. Meanwhile, Kike hit his 4th of the year. Pajes hit his 1st with a 2-for-3 day. He was the only multi-hit guy for the Dodgers. They only had 2 runs. So obviously 8 hits scattered with 2 runs. Not a whole lot of offense there. Yeah, Justin Robleski won't have to face James Wood next time. So unless he gets traded to Colorado during the week, which I don't think so. Yeah, Cruz starting to show a little bit of a heartbeat there. I know there was some early concerns. As a huge Cruz fan, I wasn't doing anything about it. I wasn't benching him or even, coming close to cutting him. But it did suck. Like, he looked terrible to start, and he does show some love there. Oh, yes. Yes, my friend just got Savannah Bananas tickets. I'm going, y'all. Fuck yeah. That is awesome. Oh my God, I'm hyped. I'm going in June. Get to see the Nanners. So we're streaming against the Dodgers now. I'm hearing you right. Oh yeah, yeah. Just constantly stream against them. Now, hey, I've been saying this Nats team's pretty nice, and they flexed their muscle there with a couple wins against the Dodgers. Now they go for the sweep today, and they're facing another young guy, so maybe. Yeah, you got to put the accent on it, or else Kike's nickname or Enrique's nickname is a slur. That accent is very important. James Wood, amazing game. 3 for 4, 2 ribbies, 5 runs driven in with his 2 homers. 2 hits for Ruiz, Cruz, and Jacob Young. 2 runs for Call, Wood, Cruz, and Young. And 2 ribbies for Ruiz in addition to the 5 for James Wood. Whoops, I accidentally clicked on Robleski. Damn, Rum and Fletch, I'm sorry to hear that. We've been chasing for a while, so when he got in there, we got really excited. So now I'm amped. He doesn't accent it though? I'm pretty sure he does, yes. There's definitely an accent on the E. Yeah, Alex Call's off to a good start. Now, he's not some young prospect. He's 30 years old. So, you know, on the one hand, he's been around the block. He's a veteran. So you don't have to, like, worry about jitters or anything like that. He knows what he's doing. On the other, that probably limits the upside a bit, but he is playing well. He is undeniably playing well. He's had some flourishes in the past. I mean, he played 113 plate appearances last year and was really good. Even in the midst of 2023, when he played a lot, 439 plate appearances, the composite was bad, but there were periods of like, oh, roster him for a week here, 10 days here, things like that. Of course we're getting new content tomorrow. What do you mean? Of course we're getting twipped. Twipped will be live. I guess I didn't put anything in the announcements. I got to get used to the announcements. I only put that back in my phone. I used to have a Monday like reminder to put a little twipped teaser. But during the off season, I of course deleted it, and now I got to get it back in. I got to get on my my baseball rhythm. Like when we did the Saturday Boxes and Bowl, I'm not used to recording something on Saturday, so I forgot to even post the VOD of it. So yeah, but yeah, there's TWIP tomorrow. I'll put something in the Discord after this. Just let people know. Anybody that's thinking it's up in the air, we're good to go. Let's go out to Boston. Jays win 6-1 at the Red Sox. They go to 7-5. The Red Sox drop to 6-6. Another ace and another shaky outing. You know, Garrett Crochet, 5 2/3, 4 runs, only one of them earned, so he got saved from that standpoint, from the fantasy piece. But he put on 9 base runners, including 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. Blech. Wait, Rum, what do you mean? For the chapters on Spotify, is it a joke to misspell all the players? What play? I don't know what you're talking about. You talking about the sleeper in the bus pod? And who's misspelling the players? I'm not doing that. Giraffe Holmes is an amazing name. Oh, it's AI generated? Okay, then maybe that's... Oh, the transcript? I'm looking at it right now. The transcript has some interesting spellings here. My last name is spelled S-P-O-O-R. Oh yeah, he did say chapters. Oh, no. Yeah, these chapters are auto-generated. It's the same thing. I see it on the sidebar here. Chris Bubich is C-H-R-I-S and then literally boob, I-C-H. So yeah. Jesus Lozano for Jesus Luzardo. Casey Mize is K and C as if it's Kansas City. Okay, yeah, I did not know about this. So yeah, we don't do that. That's the AI, and that's why we don't love AI that much. So yeah, we're not doing that on purpose, Rum. Paul Spewer. Casey Mize and the Sunshine Band. Yeah, I have to put a correction anyway because it's Tit Scratch. It's not even Boobitch. It's Tit Scratch, obviously. Anyway, mediocre outing. I mean, I'll say bad. I'm not like trying to couch it. Who cares? We'll call it bad. It wasn't a great outing for Crochet, but like, shrug. Who cares? It moved his ERA up to 145 because he only gave up 1 earned. Even if you charge him for all 4 runs, it still wasn't gonna kill him. He just wasn't as sharp. Meanwhile, Easton Lucas was like, I'm the real lefty here. He goes 5 1/3 scoreless on 3 hits, a walk, 8 Ks. They talked about it on the broadcast, and I totally saw this vibe. Where the players were getting frustrated, the Red Sox were getting frustrated because it's like, how are we not crushing this guy? He doesn't seem to be doing anything super overpowering, and yet he's dominating us. One of those guys, they call it like an easy 0 for 4, meaning you can have a bad day like Bregman and go 0 for 4 with 2 punchies, but you never felt overpowered. You never felt like that was some grinded, really difficult at bat. You couldn't do anything against it, though. It might have been Buck Martinez. I can't remember if it was the Red Sox or the Blue Jays broadcast. But I could see that vibe, and it was clear that the players were feeling that for the Red Sox, where they were like, how are we not crushing this guy? But then you look up and he has an absolute gem going because he doesn't do anything terribly special. And I don't say that to like shit on him. That's just the truth. Sometimes guys are winning without overpowering stuff, and the opposition feels like they should be dominating. But yeah, this is very modest stuff. But you see, this is where something like Location Plus is nice, though, because you can see he puts that fastball exactly where he wants it to keep the bad contact coming. And so, good on Easton Lucas. And he's popping up those strikeouts too. So they get the big win there. And now they go for the sweep today. Actually, it's a 4-game set, so they go for the series win today, I should say. Red Sox had 8 hits. Rafaela and Story 2 apiece. They only had 1 run, so no multi-run or ribbies, of course. Springer Dinger, he hit his second. Couple hits for him and Tyler Heineman. 3 hits and 3 ribbies for Bo Bichette. He's off to a great start. And then Miles Straw and Tyler Heineman each scored 2 runs. So here's a question. Why did Little get a hold, but then nobody else did? I'm confused. So his hold came in the 6th. Yeah, I don't really understand that. Is it because, well, no. I mean, they expanded their lead, so this would be 6. That was in the 7th inning. Is it because they expanded their lead to 6 or to 5 in the 8th? Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Because they were only up 3. Right. Sorry. Hold is like a save, so it's got to be the 3 runs or fewer. That's what was confusing me. My bad. I don't know all the ins and outs of the holds. Let's go out to Tampa Bay. The Angels, the 7-3 Angels win 4-3 to go to the aforementioned 7-3. The Rays drop to 4-6. Kyle Hendricks, speaking of a guy who you can have a quote-unquote easy 0 for 4 against, even at his very best, Kyle Hendricks is going to put you in that blender. And you're going to feel like, I'm on this guy. I'm crushing him. I'm ready to dominate this dude. And you look up, I'm 0 for 4. Great. And that was Yandy Diaz yesterday. And Danny Jansen, old Dan Jan. 5 scoreless, 2 hits, 2 walks, 4 Ks. Nicely done by Hendricks. 9 swinging strikes on 83 pitches. That's a downright dominant game for him. Shane Baz was good. It's just that they were better. 7 innings of 2-run ball on 3 hits, 4 walks, 6 Ks. Only 8 swinging strikes and 96 pitches, so he wasn't at his best. Uceta and Fairbanks gave up runs, though. Super bad outing for Ben Joyce, but it didn't matter. They overcame. Kyron Paris hit a 2-run homer. He was the big offense for them. That's already his 3rd of the year. He's been a fun pickup. On the Rays side, Aranda had a couple hits, and everything else was pretty scattered. Caminero went yard. He had a solo shot off of Joyce, rather. Yandy got his first steal of the year. Taylor Walls got his 3rd. Jake Mangum got his 5th already. This is a guy who got called up to fill in for the injuries. He's off to a blazing hot start. Brandon Lau did get caught. But Mangum and Meisner have both been playing pretty well, and their playing time just increased because Johnny DeLuca hit the IL. So check out this Jake Mangum guy. Like, not a prospect. Dude is 29. This is so Rays, by the way. This is so Rays for this guy to be popping off like this. He's come up. He's already got 5 steals, 4 ribbies, 11 hits. Utility type guy. You know, he was pretty good in AAA last year. Of course he was, because he's 28, like he should be. He was pretty good last year, or in 2023 as well. But again, he should be. He's an older guy down there kind of knocking around. So you can't even really take too much from these numbers here, because it's you know, an older guy who, again, should be playing well at AAA, gets his opportunity here. Sorry, PJ, I got to do it though. Like, how come y'all didn't give him a chance in 2023? In what world was he not good enough for y'all to give him a shot? He didn't start the minors until 25 because of COVID. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess I could have looked at that here. Okay, so he's not a prospect because at 29, you just can't be. But he hasn't been knocking around in the minors for like a decade either. He didn't get going because looks like he played some extra college and then didn't reach the high minors until he was already 25. The COVID year, that's a pretty key developmental year. Now, he still would have been an older minor leaguer. Like, even if he'd gotten that year and maybe shaved some of this off the back end there, you're still talking about somebody who's in their mid-20s. Okay. He was picked. Oh, he was drafted 3 different times. The Yankees picked him in the 30th round. He said no. Then the Mets picked him in the 32nd round. He's like, no. Then the Mets got him in the 4th round. But he did go to Mississippi State. So Mark in Mississippi, who is an Ole Miss guy, he's like, nah, guy's trash. Okay, good to know. Cameron Meisner is more of a real prospect. You know, again, at 27, not really popping up on prospect lists anymore, but he was somebody that you were finding on prospect lists. Maybe even, nope, okay, I guess not. I was gonna say maybe even a top 100, but it doesn't look like it. So we'll see what he can do here. He's just kind of your prototypical power, all or nothing power guy. The numbers are great so far, but he strikes me as kind of like I think I called him a Kyle Stowers type. You know, 230, 240 batting average with pop. That has value though, and he's going to get a look. Guys like Mangum tend to get lost in the shuffle when the whole front office turns over. No, I think that's totally fair. He could be somebody's pet player in the last regime, and then everything gets flipped over and he just kind of gets lost, ends up matriculating over to Tampa Bay, and now he's getting an opportunity, and in typical Tampa Bay fashion, he's popping off right now. We'll see. I'm not putting too much stock in it. But hey, ride it right now. I think a lot of times in fantasy, we get too worried about what somebody's going to look like 2-3 months down the road, but who cares? Oh, sorry, Meisner was with Miami, if I recall correctly. Mangum was a Marlin and a Met. Mangum was a Marlin in 2023. And a Met before that. Oh, I did see that, Stripe. Yeah, the Rays got hampled. This frickin' dweeb. And they say no fan interference somehow. God, put this... This fucking dweeb. Tell him, Meisner. Yeah, that fucking geek who collects the baseballs got you. Oh, really? I got hampled? Yeah. Son of a bitch. Whoops. Sorry. He would have caught it. I don't think it's a stretch based on this here to say that he would have caught it. They reviewed it and let it stand. They reviewed it and still didn't put him under the jail. Not a Hample fan, y'all. Not a Hample fan at all. I wear my block on Twitter from him proudly. I can't stand that fucking dweeb. And I know rich for me to be calling anybody a dweeb, but he's a fucking dweeb. Oh, that's Hample, Stripe. That is him. 100%. Hundo P. You think it was well over the wall? I don't know, man. It was Wendell. PJ, okay. I couldn't think of it for the life of me, and I'm on the BREF page. I could have just scrolled to the bottom, but I was trying to rack my brain. I was trying to get there. I knew it was for like a crusty veteran, and I couldn't get to Wendell. You don't think he catches it? Reasonable minds can disagree there. And the one thing I think could have happened is that it could have been snow coned out. I will say that. Let's go to the replay. Like, based on where his glove is, it could fall out the front. But, I mean, he's going to get his glove on it. I don't know. I still think he catches it. Now, what we need is the side angle to see. Like, he's not totally Jeffrey Mayer here. And, yes, he is wearing a shirt with his own name on it. Whoops, sorry. It is not the most conducive video player to be trying to slow-mo, because even when you pause it, it goes dark for some reason. I don't know, Mark. I think I disagree with you. I think he catches it. It's close. It's close. Either way, ban him. Can't stand that guy. All right. Let's not beat a dead horse. Let's move on. Out to Atlanta we go. Braves win 7-5 over the Phillies. They go to 2-8. The Phillies drop to 7-3. And sometimes baseball doesn't cooperate. Sometimes they don't cooperate. The baseball gods. We get a match like this. Yo, Stripe, thank you for the 96. The new live cards are out, yes. Vic, it's up to you. I mean, there is going to be Twipped tomorrow, so it's totally up to you. But they are definitely out. So it's up to you if you want to wait for tomorrow's cards or open them today and then collect more packs for tomorrow. Whatever you want. Any of the new live cards you get, you know, they'll have value now, but that value will only go like straight down as more and more volume gets out. So keep that in mind too. There's almost a crazy play that almost got Davey ejected. Runner on first, one out. Pop fly on the infield. Pitcher goes to make the catch. Looks like he makes the catch. Then the ball drops out. He throws to first where the runner was confused and caught in between. They tag the base, then tag the runner. Umps got together and decided he dropped it on purpose and sent him back. Replay shows it clearly snow coned out. He just beefed it. Oh my God. I didn't see that play. Again, I wasn't fully dialed in. No offense to Brad Lord and Justin Robleski, but starting pitchers are usually the draw for me, and I bounce around. So I ended up watching a lot of this one, unfortunately, because like I said, the baseball gods did not cooperate. We got Sale Wheeler, and they both laid an egg. And you know what? That happens sometimes. That happens. Wheeler goes 5 1/3, 5 runs on 11 base runners with 7 Ks in the losing effort. Sale didn't get the win, but the team did. He went 4 2/3, 5 runs, 9 hits, no walks, and 5 Ks. So, again, neither of them were good. It happens. We deal with it. It's annoying, but we deal. It's not meant to be copy pasta. He's just typing a long message describing things. Get off his back. You don't talk about GT like that. Schwarber had a huge game in losing effort. He goes 3 for 3 with 2 runs and 3 driven in. Hit his 5th homer of the year and a triple. Hello, huge game for Schwarbs. 3 hits for Casty as well. And a couple runs driven in for him. Harper got his first steal. Turner got his 4th. And that's it for the Phillies. Riley and Murphy, 2 hits apiece. Murphy goes yard, 3-run shot. Was this Murphy's first game back or second? This was his first, right? Yeah, because they didn't play on Monday. So in his return, he says, "Did y'all miss me? Let me go yard." Bang. I don't think they're fucking around with him. I trust the team to rehab Strider. I don't know. I don't think it's... The Braves can't afford to bring him up. They're working on protecting a 2-8 record. Yeah, I mean, the 2-8 aspect of it is kind of irrelevant right now because I think they're just going through. I think they're just going through the normal process. Braves or Angels, you can only pick one. Braves by a mile. By a million zillion miles.
I saw White from the beginning, so Barnes does get to first. They took his eye off it, so you kind of play it like that. It's not like
yeah.
he saw it in and then dropped it. He wasn't looking at it.
I don't think he dropped it on purpose at all.
He probably rather see Barnes at first than Baez. That's what Davies did. Davies fired up, leading by 7 runs here. He's giving it to Uchiari, the crew chief here. After the crew consultation, we determined that the fielder intentionally dropped the ball. Therefore, the batter is out, and the runner will be...
Nah, they biffed that for sure. Nah. Yeah, they did let him get pissed without tossing him. So maybe that was their way of acknowledging that they biffed it. Oh my God, Wales, that's crazy. Pick him up. That's absolutely whack. Pick him up. I'm not even the biggest Harris guy, but I'd pick him up in a millisecond. Is this Yelich? I'll put it in. It was not. It's an American who's close-ish to 33. We can look at it more later. But let's get through these games. We don't always have time to play the games. They come up automatically in my little link packet. I have all the bookmarks in one folder. Box scores take precedent, and then we'll see. Here, you can play it. It's called Batter Up. It's a lot of fun. I think it's O'Hearn. I'll go with y'all's guesses here. I'm not even really dialed in. Oh, bang! Had a baby, Deese. There you go. Sorry, I guess I fucked it for you there, Q-Stack. My bad. But great job by Deese. My bad, Q-Stack. But you can play others. You can go to previous ones, so I didn't completely ruin it. My bad. I wasn't even thinking. I was like, if this is right, then Q-Stack's gonna get smoked. Naradak, thank you so much. So Sean Murphy had 4 ribs, 2 runs scored for Kelnick. I think we got to everything here. Murphy hit his first. Iglesias got his first save of the season. But yeah, this was a bummer. Obviously, we wanted this to be like 1-0 through 8 with both pitchers going, but sometimes it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. We move into the latter half of the board here. Royals win 2-1 against the Twins. They go to 6-5. The Twins drop to 3-8. They are looking bad. And maybe that second half collapse wasn't just a blip. Woof. I thought this team was going to come back. You know, they still have a ton of talent, and they still might, right? It's a 3-8 start. They're not done. But they don't look like they have much juice. Yeah, and Pablo left with a hammy. Hopefully it's nothing terrible. Because that would just be, making things a lot worse. Cole Reagans was excellent. 6 innings of 1-run ball, 4 hits, no walks, 11 strikeouts, 18 swinging strikes on 96 pitches, which is fantastic. Pablo Lopez was pitching well before the hammy, 4 2/3, 1 run. It was unearned, 3 hits, a walk, and 6 Ks for him. But now we have to see if he's hurt. So here's hoping he's not. Little sneaky 1-out save there for Daniel Lynch. I got to imagine that was just circumstantial. Nothing to worry about there with Estevez and Urseg, especially because Lynch is a lefty. Makes me think that either maybe it was that they weren't available and there was a lefty coming up, so they went that route. Or it was just like, hey, we're piecing it together without them today. Yeah, Urseg had pitched 2 days in a row, and so had Estevez. So they were never going to pitch. Harvey had pitched 2 days in a row too. Yeah, so they were going to anybody but, and Lynch ended up getting it there with Schreiber eating up an inning and 2/3. So they were working with the B squad. Correa had a couple hits. That's about it. And there was only 2-1, so there's not going to be a ton of offense on the KC side either. They only had 3 hits total. They still got the win. 2 runs there for Bobby Witt. So, yeah, the Twins take the first 2. They go for the series today because it is a 4-gamer. And we'll see how it goes. Great outing for Reagans, though. Happy to see that. I had Reagans, Shane Smith, and Landon Roop in a league. So I had a really nice pitching day there. Just love, especially early season, when things are moving like crazy. But when you get 3 good starts, it's, the pitching points just come pouring in, and you love to see it. Let's go out to Chicago. Cubs win 10-6 against the Rangers. They're now 9-5. The Rangers are 8-4. Jameson Taillon with a baseline quality start. 6 innings, 3 runs on 5 hits, a walk, and 6 Ks. Solid outing for him. 12 swinging strikes and 85 pitches. He wasn't around for the decision, but he did pitch well. And Corbin, he survived for him. 4 innings, 3 runs on 7 base runners, no Ks. We know Patrick Corbin. Like, it could have been worse. But really, it was the bullpen that fell apart here. Jacob Webb and Chris Martin. Now, Chris Martin's runs were unearned, but he did give up 4 of them. Langford went yard for his 4th of the year. Multi-hit days for Seager, Langford, Tavares, and Josh Young actually had 3 hits. 2 runs for Josh Smith. He's on fire again. This dude wasn't getting much love in fantasy during draft season. And he's really only a deep league guy. So you 10s and 12ers, I get it. But I was surprised he wasn't getting more juice in 15s because even though he didn't have a guaranteed spot, he's the backup for like everybody. So any injury was going to bring him into the lineup. And so he's playing damn near every day lately. Like, he's listed on the bench here, and yet he's played each of the last 6 days. So happy Corbin is another team's problem now? Yeah, that's fair. That is totally fair. Heim got his 2nd steal of the year. Marcus Semien did get caught. On the Cubs side, they had a couple 3-hit guys with Seiya Suzuki and Pete Crow Armstrong doing it. 2 as well for Tucker and Swanson. 2 runs for Tucker and Swanson. 4 ribbies for Swanson. 2 for Suzuki, Horner, and PCA. Swanson ripped his 4th homer of the year. PCA got 2 steals. He's up to 6. John Birdie got his 5th. And Dansby Swanson got the steal as well, giving him a combo meal, which is when you get a homer and a steal in the same game. So that's a big game for him. Porter Hodge got the win despite the blown save, and Chris Martin took the loss. Yeah, the Cubs are running. You know who's running like crazy, which is particularly impressive because they never get on base. But the very few times that they do, the Pirates are running wild. Oh, the Cubs surpassed them with this game. But look at the juxtaposition in offensive performance. The Cubs are getting on base and running. So the volume there makes sense. It's almost more impressive that the Pirates have 21 steals because they have 127 fewer plate appearances than the Cubs. But yeah, the Cubs are absolutely running. They've got a good, deep offense. Reasons for Cubs fans to be excited for sure. And Tucker absolutely looks like the dude. Yeah, they do have 2 fewer games because of the Japan games, for sure. They also suck. Let's be clear on that. Brewers win 7-1 at Colorado. They go to 6-5. The Rockies drop to 2-8. Woof. Kyle Freeland goes 6 in the third, gives up 5 on 8 hits, no walks, 5 Ks. And Freddie Peralta has 3 starts. 3 starts in Coors, and he's been awesome in all 3, including his career debut when he struck out 13. And I know he's got kind of like an interesting fastball based on his delivery. And it is only 3 starts, but I wonder if he's like uniquely situated to find success in Coors, or if it's just 3 starts spread out over 5 years and there's nothing to take from it. Who knows? But I wonder if like the way he pitches, the way his fastball works, it helps him, mitigate the potential damage of Coors. Because he has a 13K game, 10K game, and now a 6K game. Obviously 6, you're not really, doing backflips over, but the other 2 games were like legitimately amazing. Yeah, and of course the Rockies are bad for sure, right? And it's 3 starts spread out over several years. So I'm not saying like, oh, Freddie Peralta would dominate Coors. I'm just curious because he has some uniqueness to his pitching. If the pitch modeling guys out there have seen anything that say, oh, you know what, he might actually, the way he pitches would work more there. I don't know. Doyle also had a combo meal, his 2nd homer and first steal of the year. Tolia got a steal, so did Tovar. No multi-run, multi-hits or anything because obviously they only had 1 run. Zach Veen did debut. He went 1 for 4, so he's on the board with a hit. Meanwhile, deuces wild for William Contreras. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 ribbies. Couple hits, a couple runs batted in for Chorio, and a couple hits for Hoskins. Yelich hit his 2nd, Contreras his 1st, and Terang his 3rd. Chorio got a steal. Hoskins got caught. What the hell? Oh, he got picked off. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, where the hell were you going, Hoskins? Nowhere, it turns out. And Yelich and Contreras were back-to-back on their homers. Yeah, they've been treading water, 6-5, and that's with their 2 superstars, Yelich and Contreras, doing nothing. Wait till they get going. Hoskins hasn't found his power stroke either, so, the fact that they're just sticking around 500 without those guys doing anything bodes very well for them. Let's go out to Arizona, but give me just 1 second. I'm going to go refill the water since I'm done with my Red Bull here. I'll be right back. All right. Oh, yeah, I didn't do a ton on the Twins. Well, there really wasn't a ton to talk about because it was a 2-1 game. We did talk about Pablo leaving and how y'all haven't been playing super well. And we're hoping that Pablo's okay. Can I ship a Red Bull up to you? Yes, I got you. Get you some wings before your interview. Good luck with your interview, by the way, Rock. All right, Arizona wins 4-3. They go to 6-6. The Orioles drop to 5-7. Merrill Kelly with a solid outing. He gets the quality start there. 6 innings, 3 runs, only 2 of them earned on 5 base runners with 4 Ks. You know, he pitches really well in that ballpark. So I have pretty good trust for Merrill Kelly at home against most teams. You know, the Orioles are not a rollover team. So if you didn't start him in like 10s and 12s, I totally get it. But in 15s, I would have been comfortably starting him at home. Charlie Morton is Charlie Morton. 5 innings, 4 runs on 4 hits, 5 walks, and 4 Ks. He's just a whip killer. Best friend's good to see you. Like, I don't know how you can really trust Morton at all right now. He is just a whip destroyer. So you're like chasing wins, and he's 0-3. Like that's the best that you can do is to chase some wins and maybe some strikeouts. And I just don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. Like he had 10 Ks against Boston. Okay, great. He still gave up 5 runs. Toronto smoked him, and now Arizona smoked him. I'm not seeing it. Best friends, thank you so much for the 9 months. I appreciate that. That's kind of what I think too, Mark. I could see a DFA here. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe not though, because who are they going to turn to? Maybe he's on the right team just because what are they going to do? And as PJ points out, with Eflin getting hurt, are they going to spam the panic button and make a move? This pitching sucks so bad. And Grayson alone, you know, even if he comes back and things are good, like he alone doesn't fix it. I think he threw another bullpen recently. Another bullpen on tap. That was on April 6th. So that was 3 days ago. So yeah, I mean, that's not going to fix it. I think Suarez is out for like several months. So yeah, they're in some trouble. Sandy makes a lot of sense, but they have to be open to trading. Yeah, Elias is going to need to make a move, and I think Sandy's the right move. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. Jorge Mateo got a couple steals in the losing effort. Cedric Mullins had 2 hits and 2 runs. Not a whole lot of offense going there for Baltimore. Their other 2 hits went to O'Hearn and Rutch. Carroll was the only multi-hit guy for Arizona. They only had 5 hits. 2 hits, 2 runs for him, including his 4th homer of the year. Gabriel Moreno was picked off. A little back pick there by Sanchez. A little catcher on catcher crime there. Yeah, I don't think they'll move Kerstead. I think it has to be guys from the minors because of the Cowser injury. They still have enough juice. I mean, Kobe Mayo can headline a deal pretty easily for them. McDermott, Bradfield, Beavers, basically anyone but Basayo. It's not going to be Basayo. But they can work something. They can either go something headlined by Mayo or go the volume route and give them like 3-4 guys. But they could definitely get something done without ruining their future. Still don't understand why they didn't sign Burnsy, but whatever. Puck gets the 8th. Martinez gets the 9th. That's how it's going to be more often than not. Yeah, but they need Kyle Gibson and somebody, PJ. Like, they need Gibson to eat up some innings, but then they need somebody, like, they need Alcantara and Gibson type of vibe. Apparently they made a huge offer to Burns. Well, actually, okay, in fairness on that, I do need to relent a little bit because it has come out that he very clearly wanted to go to Arizona. And so, you know, I'm sure there's some crazy number they could have offered that maybe he just would have said, okay, fine, I have to stay. But, you know, short of something silly like that, it seems like he was pretty dead set on going to Arizona. So I should lay off of them on that, because that is the word that we've gotten, that like he was just dead set on going home, because apparently he lives out there. But then in that case, you got to do something else. Go make a trade. Go pick up something, like do something. How did they just do nothing? I don't get it. Drives me nuts if I'm an Orioles fan. I don't care. I'm not an Orioles fan, so I don't care. But I just don't get how they didn't address the pitching at all. Sagano ain't enough. I'm sorry. Let's go out to Seattle. Houston wins 2-1 in 12. Lengthy game here. They go to 5-6. Seattle drops to 4-8. Castillo and Valdez, they didn't disappoint. Couple of ace type guys. They got the job done. 6 scoreless for Valdez with only 3 base runners and 8 strikeouts. 5 scoreless for Castillo on 7 base runners and 6 strikeouts. Yeah, Dean Kramer, I don't trust anybody in the rotation now that Eflin's hurt. These 4 here, these are all wild cards. With Sagano and Povich, I wouldn't even call Morton and Kramer a wild card, because they're almost never good. Like, they're just mediocre pitchers, whereas Sagano and Povich, they're wild cards. They can do some things, but you're also not getting too geeked about either of them. Povich can't lead a rotation. I'm reluctant to say he's good yet, PJ. He has upside, but he's not good yet. I mean, they have this World Series caliber offense with this AAA pitching staff. It's bizarre. It is very bizarre. So as it often is, offense was scant at T-Mobile. There was only 13 combined hits in the 12 innings. Jake Myers was our lone multi-hit guy. And in a 2-1 game, you're not going to get many multi-run or multi-ribby guys. And as was the case, we did not. Myers did get caught stealing, but also got his 3rd of the year. Pena and Altuve also got their 3rd of the year. Mitch Garver with the sneaky steal. Luke Raley. I almost said Rook Laley. Luke Raley with a pair, and J-Rod with his 4th. Dean Kramer is the Clayton Kershaw of Miles Michaelis's. That's actually really funny. Yeah, T-Mobile is like reverse Coors. That's a good way to put it. It is just an offensive suck based on the way it's set up and everything. And they have great pitchers, right? It's like a combo. It's not that these are a bunch of loser pitchers being made better by T-Mobile. They're improved by it. They benefit, of course. But they'd be studs anywhere. And then you throw in a remarkably difficult park, and it's like good luck hitting against the Mariners at all. But then, of course, the Mariners have the same thing when visiting pitchers come in, and thus you get a 2-1 12-inning game. Sorry for our Seattle, Houston, Giants, Reds, and maybe Arizona, Baltimore. We missed like 3 games yesterday. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out, Peach. And thank you for the kind words on sub, and I appreciate you being here. We're almost done. We're finishing up here. Yeah, but that's why I don't do Tuesdays. It's because there's like a lockdown hard out. But I was only doing Tuesday because Monday got pushed. But the Reds win 1-0 after a 2-0 win the night before, and I'll do a little on that because I don't want anybody to think that purposely ended early so I don't have to talk about Hunter Green, who's making me look like an idiot so far. I will cover it all year, but the official crow eating ain't coming until October. I'm not admitting I'm wrong off of 3 starts. It looks really good though for Green. Bottom line, if you're just catching up here, I wasn't a fan. I was, very much lower than the market on Hunter Green coming into the year, mainly just because I didn't really see anything from his season last year that made me believe that he was emerging. That's really what it comes down to. Like, he had this great season. I mean, I still ranked him 36. It's not like I thought he was like the worst pitcher ever, but he was in the top 30 for most people. So, I was down comparatively. And like I said, the bottom line was this was a great season, but it really looked to be tied to the things that are generally associated with volatility / luck. Like, his BABIP came way down. His homer to fly ball rate came in half. And his left on base rate skyrocketed up to 81%. None of those 3 things are super bankable. Like, those are your 3 most volatile statistics, and they're the most like out of your hand. His strikeout to walk ratio was actually worse than the year before. And so, these are the reasons that I was nervous that he didn't necessarily change himself or emerge just yet. Well, so far the home run rate is even lower, the left on base rate's even higher, and the BABIP's even lower. Now, that's not it. The core skills are better. The walk rate is more than cut in half. The strikeouts are up. So the stuff around it looks amazing. The velo's up over a mile per hour. His stuff is the best in baseball by miles. So he's earning it now, at least through 3 starts. Like, this, I can see how you are going to run a great left on base rate, BABIP, and homer to fly ball. Will the stuff stay this good all year? Okay, probably not. Probably not. But he looks great. He does look great. And one thing I will say, just in fairness to myself, even while I was kind of downing him all year, I was still saying I'm happy to be wrong. If he emerges, it's going to be fun to watch him dominate. So I'll gladly eat the L. But I'm not going to eat it until the end of the year. He was brilliant, though. 8 2/3. You see how tough the 9th is, though, right? Like, those outs aren't created equally. And he couldn't quite get to the finish line there, so Santillan had to come in and get that 1-out save. Webb, for his part, was great. Again, this is the Monday game, but I didn't get to cover it on yesterday's episode, so I want to give a little bit of love there. Webb goes 7 scoreless of his own with 10 punchies, but Green was brilliant. Now, spinning it to yesterday's game, they win 1-0. And this time, Lodolo, another guy, one of theirs that I was sour on. I just don't love Cincinnati Reds pitchers with their home park because I feel like you're getting like half a pitcher because you can't really feel confident using them at home very often. But Lodolo is basically just a lower level Green where it's like the talent is immense, but I worry about the home runs at home and the health with him too. He's had a lot of health issues. Green's had some too, but Lodolo's had a bunch. But I'll gladly wear the L if Lodolo pops off. I will absolutely take that. I want Cincinnati to be good. They're a fun team. I want Francona to get this team rolling. I want this offense to fucking do something. Like, they're winning in spite of the offense right now with these 2-0 and 1-0 victories. Lodolo had 2 fly balls last night that would have been homers in most other parks. There you go. So he's benefiting from where he's pitching there. And we'll see. We'll see how they pitch throughout the year. I'm not going to be like chest pumping every time they have a bad outing. I'm not going to run from them when they have good outings. We'll just kind of follow them throughout the year and see where it goes. But 2 nights in a row, they've overshadowed good outings from the San Francisco pitcher. Webb was great, and so was Landon Root. But Green and Lodolo took the spotlight. 1 run in 6 innings on 7 hits, no walks, 4 Ks for Root. And that's the big key there, is they didn't walk anybody. Because that kind of did him in against Houston. I think he faced Houston in his season debut, right? Yeah, he had 4 walks against them. And so that's what we're keeping a close eye on with Root. If you picked Root this year based off of his spring, the thing that we saw in spring that made us really excited was the 2% walk rate. Now it's 12 innings, so we knew like that doesn't mean, oh my God, he fixed his control issues, but it was nice to see. You want to see guys working on the flaws that they have, even in the small sample of spring. Well, then we get into the regular season, he immediately walks 4, and it's like, well, I guess that was a fluke. Well, no. Just like we didn't overjudge 12 innings in spring to the positive end, we're not going to overjudge 4 innings to the negative end once the season starts. I think his control is a work in progress, and it's nice to see a bounce back here, even if it is against a Cincinnati team that's not playing well. You still got to play who's in front of you, and so it was a good outing from Root. And the guy he beat out was Hayden Birdsong, who threw 3 strong behind him. John Doe, I do have Pagan in the main event because I missed out on Luke Jackson because somebody wanted to spend like $122 when I put $107 on him. So I'm remarkably nervous about Pagan. But I need saves, and I got 1 so far. Pagan in Cincinnati terrifies me. He is a home run machine for his entire career except for one season, 2023, when, magically, his homer to fly ball rate dipped down to 5%. Steele went on the IL too? What the hell, man? We can't buy a break, y'all. Our pets' heads are falling off. Son of a bitch. What the hell did he even go on the IL with? Elbow tendonitis? Come on, man. That's frustrating. Couple hits for Casey Schmidt and Sam Huff in the losing effort. That was all 4 of their hits. 2 for Lux, Steer, and Fraley. Ooh, all 3 Pulse Spore guys there in the winning effort, but it was Jose Trevino who drove in the lone run. Fraley and Blake Dunn also got steals, and Encarnacion Strand got caught on a pretty nasty throw, if I'm recalling correctly. It was one of those where it was like perfect right into the path where the catcher could just make the easy tag. So there we go. And now the slate's flipped over to today. Perfect timing. Speaking of today, we got the Tigers starting up in about an hour and a half. Freed Flaherty, that should be a fun matchup. We got Cards Pirates this morning. They're starting even sooner. They start in an hour. Fetty Keller. Then Marlins Mets. It'll be Meyer McGill. That could be a fun matchup. That's a nice little mid-tier matchup there. 2:35 Central. We got Randy Vasquez, Osvaldo Bido. I like Bido, but this could be a crazy high runs game here. Waddle, thank you so much for the 3 with the Prime. Appreciate that. We got lots of day games here on a Wednesday. Molly Imanaga in Chicago, excuse me. Looks like the weather is a little dicey though. We got a rain cloud with 42 degrees. That's disgusting. Kramer fought. Nick Martinez, Justin Verlander. Come on, JV. Let's look alive today, baby. Come on. What do you say? One time. Knack Irvin for Dodgers Nats. And then Brown and Luis F. Castillo. Thoughts on rostering Athletics pitching in the crazy ballpark? Be very careful. Be very careful. Like, I don't like it. I didn't want to start Springs yesterday because of that park. The only one of their pitchers that I actually like a bit is Bido, but I don't want to start him against San Diego in that park. I have a hard time with any of them right now. I would be careful. And I know Springs pitched well. Hats off to him, but I'm still being very careful. Let's see who they got coming up. Athletics. So Springs gets to go on the road next week. There you go. At White Sox, at Milwaukee. I'll start him for that. Milwaukee is tough, and I respect them, but I'm definitely taking the at White Sox game. I'll take Beto at the White Sox. I don't know about Sears. I mean, you could probably start anybody against the White Sox, but Sears does scare me a little bit. We don't have many night games. Actually, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We still have 6 night games. Okay. So we still got something to sink our teeth into. Burke Allen for White Sox Guardians. Gausman Houck for Blue Jays Red Sox. Kikuchi Pepio. Ooh, that could be a fun one. Get a little Pepio in my Stepio for Angels Rays. And then Taijuan Walker against Grant Holmes for Phillies Braves. Watch this one be the pitching matchup. Sale Wheeler, they give up a ton of runs. And then watch Walker and Grant Holmes throw like a 3-2 game today. That'd be crazy. Joe Ryan versus Seth Lugo is a great matchup as well. That's Twins at Royals. And then Tyler Alexander against Antonio Senzatella. This should be a barrage of runs. We'll see. But it's Coors. And it's two, number 4, number 5 type pitchers. This should be a crazy game. Should be. We'll see. Let's play some spin ball and get out of here. I don't have time for Immaculate Grid today, but we will get a little spin ball action in. First off, let me give, where do I find my little code? Here's my code. If you want to add me, that's my little spin ball code. I guess I got to make my roster first, and then I'll hit the play button there. All right, first spin here. Who are we looking for? Oh, we're taking Judge even against the Tigers. I'm sorry, we got to do it. Anytime you get Judge, that's a slam dunk. Pitcher. I was going to say, don't give me Flaherty because I don't want to go against myself. I got to spin again. I don't want to, have Judge popping off against Flaherty. Lugo, I'll take that. Minnesota's playing like trash right now, so we'll take that. Next hitter, we've got Michael Garcia. Nah, we can do better than that, right? No shade to Michael Garcia. I do like him, but come on. Oh, I'll take Schwargott all day. I'm rooting for Grant Holmes, generally speaking, but Schwarber can absolutely cook him. Betts, definitely. We're slamming that. Garcia going to go 2 for 4 with the dinger now? Obviously. Wilyer Abreu against Gausman? I'll take that. Sure. And there we go. Judge, Lugo, Schwarber, Betts, Abreu. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then I'll play my games here against y'all. So yeah, this has been pretty fun. I have missed some days. I remember it more when I do boxes and bowl. But I've remembered other days when I'm not streaming. I'm trying to play it every day, but I have fun with it. I like the spin decisions too, because you can run out. You can't just endlessly respin. So I kind of like balancing it there. Oh yeah, I need to mention it to Justin because he was usually the one that would set that up. And I want to see if he's down to do that again. So I will mention that to him, Detroit. All right, y'all. I'm going to get going. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We'll be back on Saturday. Now, Saturday is going to be interesting because the PTCS is happening for OOTP. But I'm still going to do boxes and bowl. We'll just get that, we'll do that early. And then it'll lead right into the PTCS, which I will be streaming. So Spinball, real quick there, Waddle. Spinball is basically just this game where you spin a wheel and pick your players. You get a few respins, and you're just trying to collect the most points. You can play against other people. Again, here's my little code. Actually, what's this share button do? Oh no, I think I already did that. You can add me and play against each other. Right now, I'm just kind of getting the lay of the land still. Just playing a few times a week. But I like it. Anything where I'm building a team. I'm just a nerd for building baseball teams. John Doe just added my friend list. Boom. I'm in. Gimme. Boom. I wish I could create like a group. This talks about leagues here, but I think it's just the leagues that they set up. But I'd like to be able to set up a league of us, if possible. I don't know if they have that yet. I gotta ask my buddy over at MLB if maybe we could set up our own little personal group. I don't know if they plan to do that in the future or what. There's John Doe's code. But yeah, I like playing it. It's a lot of fun. All right, y'all. I'm going to get this up on YouTube here shortly. But I got to get to getting. I think EVC should be starting soon with OOTP. Speaking of OOTP, I'll see y'all tomorrow for This Week in Perfect Team. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.